I get to ask about the kick returns. I guess, what does Trey bring? But then also, it looked like when you see the view from behind, I mean, obviously it's blocked up really well as well. That's obviously what it's got to look like, right?
Yeah, I thought the guys did an excellent job of executing. There was some key blocks. Darion Williamson made a huge block on it. I actually kind of took two. That wasn't by design, but kind of ran one guy into another. Brian Courtney, Wyatt Rector. Really everybody. Micah Pittman did a great job getting, up and through and then up onto the kicker to really spring it. And then, Trey ran through a tackle. So all those things have to happen, and it kind of goes back a little bit to what we've talked about in the past. 11 guys doing their job. You got to get the right kick, and then, everything kind of has to play itself out perfectly. And, I thought there couldn't have been a better way to start the game, obviously. But you can kind of sense it and feel it. We had a really good week of practice. Guys had a great understanding of their assignments and what they were looking for in terms of keys on the execution. And really, as a unit, they did a tremendous job.
Coach Norvell mentioned, the kickoff return is one thing, but how engaged everyone was on the final kickoff. How important is it that the players have bought into special teams and see the importance of it?
Oh, it's tremendous because special teams is really a reflection of your culture as a program because, it's the units that guys, I've said this in the past, but I think it's worth reiterating. It's no one except for the actual specialists themselves were specifically recruited to play on the special teams units. They were all recruited to play a position offensively or defensively. And a lot of the positions on the units aren't really glamorous positions. And it's kind of your opportunity to give back to team. We feel like it's the foundations of our fundamentals as a program. So your special teams units really are culture defining. And in reference to that last kickoff, when you get into a game where you have a comfortable lead in the fourth quarter and you still have your first group of guys who are asking to get in on the kickoff cover and then challenging each other to who can be the first guy down, that just shows that the culture that we're trying to build is really resonating with the players, and it's really taking over the team.
How much can getting that first kick return touchdown spur possibility of more in the sense that they just know if we do it this way, good things happen?
I think with anything, success does breed some confidence. And, I think now that we've had an opportunity to feel what that's like, it does breed a little bit more confidence. But each play is its own play, and that's something that we talk to our players about all the time. And whether that's good or bad, you gotta move on, and we're gonna have a different approach this week, a different challenge, a different look in terms of the coverage unit. So we're gonna have to be able to go out, put a great week of practice together, and then be able to have an opportunity to put together on Saturday.
Two-part question for you. Do you allow yourself to enjoy that kickoff return for a touchdown when it happens? And then secondly, I guess what went into planning during the week to say we're going to give Trey a chance to get this one to start the game off?
In the moment, certainly you're excited, and I was fired up when you start seeing it play out, and obviously it came right up our sideline, so you kind of get to see it, right in front of you. But you're very excited for that opportunity and for that situation, but you're very quick to move on to the next thing, because now we're going to kick off and then we're going to go play defense. So I kind of switch hats a little bit and get ready for that. But looking back at it, especially after the game, it was something that we've been working hard. You guys know, you're there all the time. We spend a lot of time and focus a lot of energy on our special teams, and in different ways throughout the course of this year so far, they've showed up, and that part is gratifying. But more important, from a team perspective, the more success that we have, I feel like the more just trust in what we're trying to build is going to continue to grow. In terms of the second part of your question, Trey Benson. Yeah, he's done a really good job in practice. Even coming out of fall camp, it was one of those things where it was a tough call, and it was a call that went all the way up to close to game time on that opening week. And it was less to do with Sam and more to do with Trey, and just, hey, he's looking good as a running back. He's ready. He's moving well. Let's see what he can do, and we'll see what it looks like going forward. But obviously he did provide a great spark there.
Are you seeing Patrick get better almost rep by rep, like series by series, the more he's out there?
Yeah, Pat is a guy that he's very conscientious as a player. So when he does have an experience, whether it's good or bad, he learns from it. So the more game reps he gets, I'm not surprised that you see improvement there. But I think his confidence is starting to grow a little bit. Last game, obviously he did well in the game. But his practice was good. Like, he had a really good week of practice. So, those things tie together, and he's a mature young man, and I think we're just starting to scratch the surface of what he can potentially look like. But, I do see his confidence growing. I do see improvement in him, and it is almost play-by-play or series by series as he gets more experience.
How hard is it to judge a kick returner's ability when you're not getting live reps in practice? Like, you don't have guys going down there and tackling them. So how do you judge if a guy's had a good week in practice returning kicks? And is it something that you really kind of do have to see in the moment with live guys running down there trying to tackle them in a football game?
Yeah, no, certainly the game reps, that tells a whole different story, because we don't go live to tackle the returners in practice. But you also get a sense for the speed in which how they hit things, the confidence that they display as they run the return, their ability to track the ball in the air. I thought because I think, and I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct, that this was really Trey's first return experience when he came here. And it takes a little bit of time to get that confidence of tracking the ball in the air and hitting it going forward the way we want it done. And with the more reps, the better he's gotten. And you could just sense kind of in practice that he feels ready and confident for it, because obviously he's going through his own progression in terms of getting back healthy and getting confident in everything that he's doing. So now that he's had 3 or 4 games now under his belt, like, you could just see him starting the game reflected it, but you can just see his confidence grow in everything he's doing, and that showed up on that first kickoff as well.
It seemed like Leonard and Dennis, I don't know if that was their best games, but it seemed like they were very active and productive. They're both different situations. Like Leonard, they're coming back from injuries, and are you starting to see them kind of be the guys you hope they would be? Yeah,
both those guys are veteran guys. They're mature. They work hard. I think they understand what it takes. Speaking first about Leonard, he's not going to be the flashy defensive end, that bunch of highlight sacks and all that stuff, but he's gritty, he's tough, he's physical, he's dependable, he's hardworking. He is older, so he has that veteran leadership to him. He's important to the room. So, I feel like he's continuing to get better as he gets more reps, but I did feel like he played well the other day. And really the way I described Leonard is the same way you could describe Dennis. He comes to work every day. He's a hard worker. He's physical. He plays his role. Like, he played about a third of the snaps that he played total were at defensive end spot. The other snaps were inside. So whatever he's asked to do, he does it. And I think both of them played really pretty solid the other night.
Brendan, how has Micah done? You mentioned him on the kickoff return, leading the way, but how has he done as a punt returner in general this year, feeling the ball, making decisions, all that stuff?
I think his decision making has been good. I think one of the things that as punt schemes evolve, and you see it all over the country, including with ours, teams do a lot of different things to try to keep it out of the punt returner's hands, whether it's formation or directional kicking and all the things that go into it. And I think Micah's done a nice job of fielding the balls that he could get to, because our first key to success every week as a team, but really, the first thing I talk about special teams wise every Saturday morning is we got to own the ball, and then right after that it's field all kicks. And when I say that, it's field all kicks that are within reason for you to field, make good judgments and good decisions, because we certainly would rather have the ball back than make a bad choice on trying to go chase the ball down that you can't get to. So I think Micah's decisions have been good. I think he's a tough runner. I think one of the things that leads to success in the return game is the ability to break a tackle, and he certainly possesses that ability. So I've been pleased with Micah so far, and I just like I say on kickoff return when I said I don't think we're very far away. I also don't think we're very far away from him having an opportunity to pop one on punt return as well.
Chris?
How does Wake Forest's slow mesh impact defensive end play, and just how those guys usually do their job versus what they got to do this coming Saturday?
Yeah, what they do is a little bit unique in terms of the mesh with the quarterback, running back, and how long that the quarterback's able to ride it out. I think the first challenge is making sure you simulate that well in practice, because it is unique, and it's certainly going to be unique to our scout look team that provides a look. Second is, you got to be really disciplined with your eyes and having your ability to do your job, and not because they're waiting for you to react. So we'll have different ways to change tempos, right? So, whether it's straight 4-down rush or if we're doing anything in a pressure. But first thing first is do your job. And, I think that's one of the keys to being able to execute against a well-disciplined offense.
So Alex had a touchback. We didn't think it was possible.
I didn't think it was possible either. That's a shame for Alex from the standpoint of, we had a little bit of a communication error in terms of how we covered down on it. And Alex really hit a good ball. Without the coverage, he almost had got the ball to roll out of bounds himself. That's one of the things we got to fix coming out of the game. Sometimes when you win, it's easy, especially more from the outside, I'd imagine, to kind of gloss over some things. But that was a critical error in the game in terms of just our overall communication as the 11 on the field. And Alex kicked the ball well enough for that to have not happened. But we got to learn from that and make sure that never happens again.
And just last one. Corey asked, I think, Coach Fuller about it, but just the atmosphere the other night. I think it's Notre Dame game last year was a good atmosphere. I mean, you had some, but just as a guy who's been in a lot of stadiums, how cool was that?
No, it was an unbelievable atmosphere. It really was. And then, it was loud. On that first when we hit the kickoff return to start the game. I mean, that was about as loud as I remember hearing a stadium, at least in real time. And there's a lot. I'm excited for our guys, really, because especially the ones that have been here for a couple years. They've been through their share of downs, so that they have the opportunity, and they've earned the right at this point now that there's so many people that are excited about the games and the atmosphere that creates. And you try to eliminate all the distractions that you can, but you do like the fact that our guys have that opportunity to be on that stage in front of so many people that are there to watch them. It was a very cool experience and great environment.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.